What's up, guys? I'm LQ. This is the LQ Review, and I'm here today to give you my review of the comic book series Star Trek Picard Countdown. So, we're just going to kind of look at these real fast. There's 3 in the series, so it's a very limited series. Here's the cover to the first one. Let me fix this slide a little bit. There we go. So there's the cover to the first one, Star Trek Picard. I don't know if that helped anything. Alright. It's the cover to the second one, Star Trek Picard. It says Countdown. Alright, so this is leading into the TV series. This is a prequel, sequel to the Next Generation, prequel to the TV series. Here's the third issue. Alright. So this series I thought was going to be very connected to the Picard TV show. And while it's certainly connected, it's not connected quite in the same way that the Countdown comic was for before the 2009 movie came out. And I've got that one over there. I would go get it for you guys, but I don't think anybody cares. The Countdown comic for the 2009 movie it gave you a lot of backstory that you kind of really wanted, right? The 2009 movie, they didn't give you a whole lot of backstory into Nero. They didn't give you a whole lot of backstory into what happened with the Romulan Empire, with the Romulan planet Romulus. They didn't really give that to you. You just kind of had to piece it together as you went on. And that was one of my weaknesses of the 2009 movie, was that Nero was kind of a paper bad guy. And this comic series, it tells a story that happens before Star Trek Picard. And it's definitely connected to the events of Star Trek Picard, but it doesn't cover the storyline that we think it was going to cover. So in Star Trek Picard, there is the TV show. We learn that the Romulans are being evacuated, and some of them end up on Mars, and synthetics attack and end up killing a whole bunch of Romulans on Mars. That was the story that I thought we were going to get here. That's not the story that we got here. In this story, we have learned that that the supernova's gonna hit. The Federation knows the supernova's gonna hit, so Picard is actually tasked with helping to evacuate some Romulans on, I don't remember what planet it is. Yeah, I don't remember what planet it is, but they end up having to evacuate the Romulans from a nearby planet, Yayat Beta. And the Romulans are at first very agreeable to this, and then Picard finds out that there's a working class that live on this planet that the Romulans have no intention of evacuating. And now Picard is standing up for this working class that they need to be evacuated as well. So it's a very political book, not so much in the context of today, our politics, but it's political in the context of the Federation and the politics of that era of the future. So definitely an enjoyable book. I'm just going to kind of show you guys some of the 3 books here, and we can talk about it a little bit. Alright, so there we got the cover. Page 1. This is closer to the start of Picard. Here we got, you knew that some next-gen people would show up. There's LaForge. Yep, you knew that was going to happen. So here we have Mars, and this is where you start thinking that it's going to be a little more connected to the TV show than it is. Now, I don't want to say it's not connected to the TV show, because it is. It's a storyline that's relevant, that certainly leads into the show, but at the same time, it's This is like 15 years before the show. And it's not the story that caused Picard to leave the Federation. And that was the story that I thought we was going to get. I thought we was going to get the story that caused Picard to leave the Federation and have the rift with the Federation. And again, that's not what we got. The art here is pretty good. The page is very quality. So the paper, the paper is very quality paper. The art, like I said, is very nice. The writing is very good. From all the technical standpoints of a comic book, it is well done. So that's the first issue. From all the technical standpoints of a comic book, it is well done. I think my biggest issue is simply that I didn't get what I thought I was going to get. Like I said, I thought I was going to get Picard becoming disenfranchised with Federation. And that's not what happens. But there's some nice action sequences here. Definitely some references to Nemesis. I like the design of that ship. I think it's called the Veritas. So, and this is an issue where, or this is a story where Picard uses his wit rather than his might to outwit his enemy. There we go. He's lived several lives. But he uses his wit instead of his might to defeat his enemy. And I definitely appreciate that aspect. Some of the best Trek storylines are ones that's a battle of wits rather than a battle of might. And that's definitely what we see here. Even after Picard seems to have the upper hand, though, the story's still not quite over. So, yeah, like I said, good art all the way through. The Romulan Warbird looks good. It's not the prettiest Trek comic I've ever seen. It really isn't. But it's also not the worst. If you remember when DC was doing Trek, as fun as some of those storylines were, the art often left a lot to be desired. Ever since IDW has taken Trek over. Yeah, ever since To Be Continued and Star Trek Picard. Yeah, ever since IDW has taken Trek over, it's at the very least been pretty. You know, it's not always, well, I mean, to be honest, most of the IDW storylines I've liked. But the art has always been pretty high quality, at least in my opinion. There you have it. Star Trek Picard, the 3-issue limited series. I enjoyed reading it, and it gave me context for some of what Picard is dealing with as he goes into this TV series. But I'm just going to be completely real with you. At a $4.99 cover price each, it's not worth $15. It's not worth $15. This is a story that is not essential. Like, I honestly feel like the countdown to Star Trek 2009, I feel like that comic was essential. Because without it, you didn't really understand everything that Nero was doing and why he was doing it. There's nothing essential in this. There's nothing essential in this, unless there's a big revelation that ties back to something like this later on in the Picard series, but I seriously doubt that's going to be the case, because there's nothing groundbreaking in this in the first place. So I would only recommend getting Star Trek Picard, the 3-issue series, if you are already into Star Trek comic books. I think you'll enjoy it, because it was an enjoyable read. But if you just feel like, man, I really need to read these comics so I know what's going to happen in Picard, No, just skip it. It's not worth $15 because there's nothing in these comics that's going to give you any more insight to what's actually happening in the TV show. And that's unfortunate. I think it's a missed opportunity, but it is what it is. So, have you read the Picard comic books? If so, let me know whether you agree or disagree with me in the comments down below. Maybe you think it's extremely essential. I just didn't feel that way. I just feel like the only way you're going to enjoy this is if you already are predisposed to liking Trek comic books. So, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think of this comic series. And thank you so much for being here at the LQ Review, where we get to talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff we love to talk about. And until next time, we'll see you later.